Mr. 96, and welcome to my annual corrections video. Today, I get to look back at all my screw-ups from these past 12 months, and yes, that includes my top 10 lists from last year. I'm gonna split these corrections into two parts, the technical mistakes and the creative mistakes. Technical number 1, misspelled words. When I made my 2016 worst list, I unknowingly misspelled Olivia O'Brien's name as Ovilia. I would have missed that completely had my buddy Johnny not pointed it out to me. Makes sense. He's probably the only person I've met who actually likes that forgettable bore of a song. Also, he's an Atlanta Falcons fan. And speaking of Atlanta, I completely screwed up in my 2009 worst list when I typed in the wrong lyrics to Gucci Mane's verse in Breakup. Yeah, the singing is awful. Oh, and as for Gucci?
Gucci Mane crazy and his ice game stunning.
Yeah, you see, it's his ice game, not the... Seriously, that's bugged me ever since. Technical number 2, terrible audio. If you saw my videos released from February to April this year, I apologize for the shit audio. Hi, let's talk about young women. I was experimenting different noise removal methods and they failed. Okay, on to the creative mistakes. Well, there's this one change I'd like to make to last year's worst list. So let's start right now. Number 5.
I know I can treat you better than he can.
Treat You Better is the Marvin Gaye of 2016. A song I should have been harsher on that only gets worse over time. So that's basically the main thing I would fix from either of my lists. As for changes to the scores I gave in my reviews, there are 2. Kinda.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Drink. Swalla la la.
Earlier this August, I guest starred on Kumarai Fang's review of Swalla by Jason Derulo, and I gave that song an 8 out of 10 beta guilty pleasure. While I still consider it a guilty pleasure, it has kind of lost its luster on me, so I would change that to a 7 beta guilty pleasure. Or a gamma. I don't know. And my final change also involves a guilty pleasure, but not the one you'd expect.
Why is everything so heavy?
Earlier this year, I gave Heavy by Linkin Park an 8 out of 10 beta guilty pleasure. But while I still consider the song an 8 out of 10, the guilty pleasure label doesn't apply anymore. The natural assumption would be that this has to do with Chester's unfortunate passing, and I'm not completely denying that. Linkin Park was my first ever favorite band growing up, so Chester's death hit me harder than any celebrity death in recent memory. That day, I wrote a lengthy piece thanking Chester for the role he had in my life, which you can find in the comment section of my Heavy review. But even before his death, the song had been growing on me. Not that I thought any less of it before, but it became less of a guilty pleasure and more of a song I could stand by. In the end, Heavy is an appropriate 8 out of 10, no guilty pleasure label attached. And that concludes my 2017 corrections. Stay tuned when I review the top 10 worst hit songs of 2017. Pop songs may come in numbers, but there's only one 96.